In this video, I am going to endeavor to remain quite constructive with my criticism.
You liar!
Greetings, friends, and welcome back to the 3-Minute Horror Show. My name is Ben, your host, and I love horror movies. If you've been here before, you already know the drill. Welcome back. If you're new here, though, the way these videos work is as follows. I give a little plot synopsis. I give a little commentary. I give the movie a rating, and hopefully I can make you laugh along the way. And remember, I watch the bad movies so that you don't have to. You're welcome. Today I'll be reviewing the movie Night Carnage from 2025. Take a look at that poster. I would bet that that's AI generated. Pay artists. In this movie we got vampires, we got werewolves, we got vampire hunters, and we got Sadie Katz. Yet somehow they all managed to be annoying, and then the movie is just over. This movie was directed by a fellow named Thomas J. Churchill, who goes by Church. He seems to be a fairly prolific, low-budget horror director, writer, and producer. I've seen two of his previous efforts, The Amityville Harvest, which was bad, and The Amityville Uprising, which was worse. Night Carnage is not streaming for free in Canada, so you'll either have to find yourself a copy or rent it.
Who's ready for some carnage?
Well, don't all stand up at once now.
Ouchie.
One of the goofiest cold opens I have ever seen shows a guy who looks like one of the nasty boys from the WWE infiltrating a vampire lair while reporting back to an old guy in bed and the guy who is covered in tattoos from the Amityville Uprising. His name's Mike Ferguson. This guy kills a vampire without any backup and then gets eaten by a different one. This blunder forces the old guy in the bed to call in his young son and explain that he's a Van Helsing. And it's very important, he's not a Van Helsing, he's a Van Helsing. From the lineage of the Knight Society that keep regular folks safe from the undead, and he gives him a secret coin. I think the old guy dies right after that, and we jump forward in time. Now you're probably thinking, like I was at this point, that this kid is the main character of the story. He's going to be the big hero that goes out and kills the vampire who's responsible for his great-great-great-great-grandfather's death. Not to mention avenging the death of the wrestler who just got killed, and maybe learning how to fight monsters from the big tattooed guy. But wait. Now we're introduced to a woman who is trying to find a man through online dating. She's a werewolf blogger, which might make you think that she blogs about werewolves, but no, she blogs about her search for Mr. Right, and she's a werewolf. Spoilers? Trust me, I'm doing you a favor here. She goes out on a date with a guy named Steve-O who tries to assault her, but she werewolfs him and gets even, so it's all good. Meanwhile, in the same bar, a young vampire dude is picking up women to eat. The werewolf costume is bad, the CGI blood effects and vampire stuff are also bad. It's all bad. Bad, bad, bad. Oh, right, I'm supposed to keep my criticism constructive. Sadie Katz, who's been in like 100 of these types of movies, shows up and she's running an investigation for the Van Helsing boy and his tattooed pal. The kid owns a bar now, and tough guys like to hang out there. Everyone talks like a WWE wrestler, and none of the dialogue feels natural. Turns out she's one of the knights too, as well as a cop, and she cleans up dead vampire messes. Presenting better Carnages than Night Carnage. This Carnage is a Spider-Man villain. He was once played by Woody Harrelson. This Carnage is a sequel to the video game Smash TV. This Carnage is a Swedish death metal band. This Carnage is an album by musician Nick Cave. He seems cool. This Carnage pronounces his Carnage Carnage, and he spells it with a K. Ooh la la, fancy. We skip forward a little bit. Both the vampire and the werewolf kill another one of their dates each. Apparently they're both looking for their ideal partner, and they eat anyone who doesn't make the cut. All of these dates seem to occur at the same place. Renfield's Bar on Stoker Lane. So stupid. This is like Bozo Dollar Store Underworld and no one should ever watch it. Oh, constructive criticism. Werewolf lady goes out on a date with the Van Helsing boy, and the vampire guy comes right up to their table and asks her to dance, in the middle of their date. She goes for it. They instantly fall in love during their dance. Sucks for the kid, but it's still a better love story than Twilight. Eventually there's a big fight between the werewolf, the vampire, and the Van Helsing kid and his gang. The werewolf costume is super duper terrible, and the CGI blood splatter effects are some of the worst that I've ever seen. Constructive, constructive, constructive. No one wins the fight, and then the movie is just over. I'm not a huge fan of movies where all the dialogue feels forced. It happens in different ways across different genres. You see forced melodrama in soap operas, you see forced conflict in things like wrestling promos, and you see forced laughs in bad sitcoms. There's a lot from each of those three columns in this movie, and that's why I was never able to get into the story. I couldn't connect with any of the characters. Another trouble I have with this movie is it's trying to wear too many hats. For example, maybe they could have left the Van Helsens and the Knights out of this movie and had the story be about a werewolf and a vampire who cross paths while they're trying to find the ideal mate. That may have worked better. And maybe pony up for a better werewolf costume while you're at it. Okay, that wasn't constructive. I'm sorry.
I'm not sorry.
You can do better, Church. I rate Night Carnage 3 out of 10. As always, a link to my letterbox will appear in the video's description. Please leave me a like, comment, and subscribe, as it really does boost my engagement and helps my channel grow. Smell you later, nerds!
It deserves 2 drinks on the house.